Hey everyone, it's Tony 40. Oh, hang on. Oh dear. Trust me on this one, guys. If you're going to wear one of these things whilst you're spray painting smelly old alclads, don't burp inside them. It's gross. Hey everyone, it's Tony40models.co.uk. Welcome to the next video build, which is Tamiya's one. Oh crikey, hang on, let's get this lighting sorted out. Tamiya's 1/12 scale. It's not a YZR. Oh, I nearly went into that one then. It's this one. It's the 1/12 scale Valentino Rossi figure for the YZR M109 build that we did in the last section. Now, I'm just going to break away here because I'm doing 7 builds at the same time at the moment and I've got stuff everywhere. And it's just like, oof. So I'm just going to get all this sorted out. Oh, that's better. Right. So, true story. My brother and sister-in-law both have their birthdays in December. Literally about a week before Christmas. So the pair of them, for most of their lives, like people in December, have your birthday and Christmas together and all that kind of stuff. So I got my brother a Alfa Romeo 155, I think it was. That one. Got my brother that for his birthday and Christmas. And I got my sister-in-law because they have one of these in real life anyway. That's for my sister-in-law, and things like that. So I've got those two going on at the same time. I've got 2 other video builds going on for my channel at the same time, and I've got a couple of other bits and bobs hovering away in the background. It's getting very confusing now. So it's literally finish something on the Alpha, move on to the Subaru, move into my video build, move into my other video build, move into this one, move into it's all one of these things. I have no idea what one of those is. Anyway, let's get on with this. So, in bits and pieces, off to one side, because photos. Come here, you. We've got the Yamaha one, well, that thing, and this is the rider for it, with a stand, which I'm really looking forward to doing. In the box, you get 2.5 poly bags. I'll get to the halves in a minute. So we got 2 of those. The first one is bog standard leg parts and arm parts and things like that. And there's god awful plated plastic stuff which I can't stand, but we'll work with that and see what happens. And then we get spare parts. I'll get to those in a minute. So it's really straightforward. Bodge 2 legs together, bodge 2 leg halves together, bodge 2 arms together, and there's his soles. That's the appendages done, so that's pretty straightforward. And then we get the other poly bag, which is the stand itself, which I'll be concentrating on in this video. And then we get helmet parts. I believe you get the option to do 2 helmets. I've not actually looked at the instructions properly yet. You get the options to do 2 helmets, so there's the helmet on Valentino itself, and then a separate one for display. And then we get the face parts. And whoa, how cool is that? I'll show you that properly in a minute. Looks like Magneto. Fantastic. So, my ADHD went boing all over the place then. So we got the helmet parts itself for the figure, and we get the 2 halves of the hand. So it's all pretty much straightforward so far. There's his rear torso and that funny airbag hump thing, spine protected, jobby, doohickey. Front shoulders, from the look of it. You can tell I used to be a medic. I'm identifying anatomy and physiology. And then visor parts, which are already coloured for us, so we don't have to worry about doing any smoke tinting or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. That's actually saved me a job. So I was actually dreading doing that. I'm having to play with smoke, Tamiya smoke, wherever that's gone. There it is. The X19 stuff. Because I'm having to tint the Subaru windows, because fancy and all that kind of stuff. It's being a pain. So, we'll get the destructions out, and then, ooh, decals. So, these are the ones I've been looking forward to. Terry, who has been a friend and follower most of the way through the YZR build, got in touch with me about these decals, especially the helmet decals. So just going off that, because it's repeated, I'm assuming because there's 2 helmets, that's the helmet decals. And that always worries me. Say stuff like this. Don't think you can see that because that's in the way. 1 to 17 must be applied in order. I don't like it when people tell me to do things like that. It makes me want to rebel and go, no, I'm doing it my way. So, going off that, it's multi-stage. So it looks like that's across the back of the helmet. That's the right cheek, left cheek, tops. And then we got all the body decals in that section there. That's going to be fun. That will be fun. Right, let's have a look at the instructions. This is the part I'm looking forward to most, because we get, just looking off that straight away, I saw long and short. So we get 2 suspension parts. So if you remember from the Yamaha build itself, and I've not planned this out properly because I haven't got the instructions with me for that. Yes, I have. Where have I? Oh, yeah, I've got the instructions. So I had a bit of a panic a few weeks back. I actually posted on Facebook's, on my Facebook's page for the model making thing. Don't know if you remember in the build itself, I think it was episode 3, something like that. We get to make 2 of these. Now actually, use your words, Tony, it's 3 suspension parts. And I had a thing about, I don't know what LNS means. Apparently that's long, that's short. So it's the short suspension is when you got weight on, and obviously the suspension crimps down a little bit. And we get the same for the back end, so we get a long suspension for when there's no weight on the bike, short suspension for when there is weight. Now the kit itself gives you 2 of these parts, as well as corresponding short and long. They are slightly different from each other. It's in the box. I'm hoping it's in the box. So it's not in the box. Here we go. So off camera, I've actually gone ahead and built that. Like so, but one of these C26 parts, I remember clipping it through the frame, and I thought I'll put that somewhere safe for when I need it, for when I get the figure, and I lost it. And yeah, eventually I managed to find it. So when we get round to it later on in this video, hopefully, because we've got to take the bike apart by the look of it, I'll show you the difference. We've got the long version painted black there, but I can't remember right now what colour I painted C26, so I'll paint that a separate colour from the one that's on the bike already, just so I know which one's which. So that's that. In the little poly bag that I saw earlier, there we go. So we get the brass tubes for the front end of the suspension. Let's get these out. And we get spare screws as well by the look of it. Ooh, that could be for the stand. Yeah, I think they're for the stand, but anyway. We get slightly shorter brass tubes for the front end, which, just off camera, I can see out the corner of my eye is this. So we need to take the front end of the bike apart, again. We need to take the back half of the bike apart so we can get the rear suspension out and swap the short for the long. So we'll have a look at that later on as well. But, oh, really? Do you know, I'm glad now. I had a bit of a fight with the decals, if you remember. The decals didn't work on the tyre because I got them all the wrongs. And thank you for everybody who's helped me out in the comments with that, who do these on a regular basis. And yes, I got it completely wrong. Yes! Yes! I've got to take the wheel apart and put an adapter in. Really? Oh! Cool. Sorry, I was smashing that then. Sorry. These little silver pieces here. I'll get them out properly later on when we get to it, because I'll lose them before that point, I know me. We put those inside the wheel, but then we have to drill into the tyre. Yay! Drilling. What could possibly go wrong? So we'll take care of that when we get there eventually. And then we go into building the figure, which we'll do in the next video. Ooh, got a helmet. That's going to be cool. So, start with number 1 apparently. And I'm bouncing them all over the place on you again. So that'll be number 1. I'll work through. See? Apply 1 to 17 in numerical order. I found a 3. I found a 4. I found 5. I can't find 1 and 2. Where's 1 and 2? It's a bit like, where's Wally this? Where's 1 and 2? 1 and 2 aren't there. Why aren't 1 and 2 there? That's intriguing. Alright, we'll address that in the 3rd episode. That's the plan. Yeah, sorry, I'm planning things in my head without telling you about them. Yeah. So, we'll get the bike converted, we'll get the stand assembled, which is towards the back of the instructions. We'll get all that sorted out first. And then, the next episode we'll concentrate on building the figure and hopefully painting it too. It looks like a pretty much straightforward build. You watch, that'll take 4 parts. I nearly swore them. And then the 3rd one will deal entirely with the decals and things like that. So, I'll crack on. I'll get all the poly bags away and stuff like that, and we'll get the silly little screwdriver bits and bobs and things like that, and take care of wheels. Right, so let's get this wheel off, hopefully without scratching any paint. So we take the massive long screw from the front wheel, and hopefully we can slide that front wheel out completely as one. Yay! Now I'm going to bob that screw back in, because I'm hoping I can take that entire front end off in one piece. We'll soon find out if I'm wrong. Rather than messing about taking bits and bobs off, so we'll just take that cowling off very carefully and plug that in. I've actually got all the rest of the stuff up there out the way. Stay. Okay, so that's that. Because I don't particularly fancy I'm going to put all these tubes back together again. Well, I might not have a choice. So remember, boys and girls, I make the mistakes so that you don't have to. There's a hair care shampoo in there, I'm sure there is. Hair care shampoo? Advert. Stop talking. Yeah, so just very, very gently prising these apart, which is why I've left the screw in as well, so we can use the screw as leverage too. Just going to gently wiggle. Very gently. There we go, there's one. Who's that pulling teeth? Go on, you. Alright, so I've actually pulled that tube from the handlebars. Not a problem. I'd rather pull it from up there, to be honest, than off the calipers. There we go. So there's the 2 long brass tubes off. So we'll put those in the box with the rest of the bits and bobs for the bike up top. And then, just off camera, I'm going to slice the little bag open, just the top corner, like so, just the top corner, so that we can slide these little brass tubes out. Cool, there's one. As you can probably see as well, all the bodywork's off anyway, because I was doing all kinds of arty-farty photo shots. I decided to leave all those off, knowing that this was on the horizon, so that I don't have to mess about too much with those. So that way I'm actually protecting, ooh, hang on, the polycaps have stayed inside the upright suspension thingy, legs, arms. And these, oops, it is. There we go, so there's one. There's t'other. And then we'll bob those back in. like so, very gently. Remember, if they don't go, you're doing something wrong, so don't force the issue. So it's very gentle pressure, very gentle, there we go. So we now have short front suspension, and I'll bob that tube on the handlebars properly later on, not a problem. So we'll do the same now with the back wheel. We'll just whip out that massive big screw. From the back wheel. Like so, we'll drop that just there. If I remember rightly, that should just open up slightly. This is why we didn't glue anything together as well, just in case we do need to start taking things apart, because I do like displaying things separately anyway. So that's that. Oh, it looks naked. So we now have the problem of getting the tyres off without cracking that brake disc. And this is why I'm glad those decals didn't work, because I've got a plan for that with oil paint anyway. So if we think about it, we're doing this with the stand and the bike leaning over. If you look at photos of these things belting around a corner, it's very, very rare you'll actually get to see a pristine decal like that as it's belting around a corner. So I've got a plan with oil paint, but I'll get to that later. So that's that one off. So I've already lost the brake disc because it wasn't tacked on properly, so we'll just crack that one as well. I'll bolch these back on with PVA later, not a problem. So the front tyre is actually easier to get off than the back tyre was. So that's that. So that's the tyres off. So we'll whack the adapter plates in now whilst the wheels are off. So I'm actually going slightly out of sequence with the instructions. So the instructions are telling me to take that rear suspension out first and swap them over. It would help if I actually painted that first, wouldn't it? Ooh. So we'll do the back tyre conversion, well, the wheel thing conversions first. And the instructions telling me that the huge one goes in the rear wheel. The huge one goes in the rear wheel, right? So there's a slight shape to these as well. If you can make that out, they're not quite round. Focus. Got the sides knocked off a little bit, so you want to put those sides where they'll go flush with the thing, and you have the rounded sections off to the side here. So you want flat edge and round edge, like so. So just nipped off, so have a look through my my bits box, my tool kit thing. Got my pin vise out, and that's the drill bit I normally use. That's the biggest one I need to use for anything I'm doing. That's 1.4mm. It's asking for 2.5. That's my face. I think I need my daddy's drill. That's actually quite scary. So it's looking like take the back wheel, take the tyre, plump on there. So it's looking like this metal piece actually comes, you know, most of the way through the tyre, if not all the way through the tyre. That's quite scary. That really is scary. I've just spotted in the instructions as well, because I'm having a bit of trouble with the front wheel. The back wheel, as you can see, the thing's just stayed in place, no problem. The front wheel is being a bit of a pain, and it keeps slipping out like that. I've actually spotted in the instructions, use our special super glue. So I'm going to see if I can get away with not using super glue, because super glue scares me. And true story about super glue, we used to use it when I was a medic. Super glue, cyanoacrylate, CA, whichever version you prefer to call it. It's actually designed to bond with human skin because it's actually for healing wounds. Oops. Which is what they did with that scar there when I was 8 years old. They threw a load of super glue inside it first to help close it all up, and then they stitched it. I've had super glue used in my head quite a few times, and then fast forward about 15 years, I was using it as a medic in the army to help patch people up. True story. So it's designed for military use. And if you notice when you use... Oh, I'm actually turning the tyre inside out so I can figure out exactly where the centre is. Yeah, see? Made that up as I go along, just like Indiana Jones. Anyway, that's why. And do be careful, I can actually feel where the drill bit is as well. Don't drill through your finger, for crying out loud. Once you get to a point where you feel the drill bit coming through, shift your fingers well out of the way. Yeah, that's why if you're using super glue to put some plastic and some metal together, it'll stick to your finger first before it'll stick to the plastic or the metal, because it's molecularly actually melting your skin so it can heal the gap in your skin. And because of that, I hate using super glue. So as you can see, we've gone all the way through, and we look back on the outside and it looks like you've not even touched it. So we'll just go back through again. We'll just go through a couple of times just to make sure. Because with it being rubber as well, obviously it's going to stretch and shrink back, especially if you've got it turned inside out. I think I've just had it, so that's a bit better. So, patience, patience. I need a cloak. It doesn't work without a cloak. Ooh, for a scary moment then. I lost just here at the top of the screen, that's where the numbers are to tell you that you're recording. There's a little red dot and I've just lost it in the background. For a split second then I thought I've not pressed record. Right, let's see if we can get this in without having to use any super glue. Because the other thing that happens with super glue as well is it's not very good at bonding things together, even though it sticks. It's literally like having a piece of bread, whack a load of peanut butter in the middle, stick it together, it'll hold beautifully, but the minute you put any force against it, it'll shear off. Which is another reason why I don't like using super glue. There you go, there you go. So hopefully we can get that line up, taking care not to damage the brake disc as well. Ooh, almost. You can actually see a slight bulge where the... Stop giggling. Nope, no, it's gone. So you can see a slight bulge where the piece is actually going into. Right. So, shift all that out of the way. I was going to get me super glue. This should show you how much I use super glue. I've got the clear stuff, the goop, runny stuff, and I've got gloopy stuff, which has actually gone off by the look of it. Where is it? No, it's still soft. But my nozzle's completely blocked. So I'm going to use gloves for this as well. So bearing in mind that super glue actually reacts molecularly with your skin. Let's say it actually dissolves your skin slightly and then rejoins it. So it's a bit like hot action weld. Anyway, this stuff plastic, super glue actually does the same thing to your skin, molecularly. So do please be careful. If you are going to mess about with super glue, use gloves. So like I say, it will react with your skin first before it will react with the plastic and metal. It's nasty stuff. So I've got this really gloopy stuff here. It's just gone off, I think. Oh, yeah, it has. It's gone off. Can we use that? Oh, that's quite bizarre. So I'm just going to whack a dot in there, see if that'll work. I don't think that will. Might do. I'll get the short one. I say, super glue does tend to shear if you apply any kind of force to it, especially parallel force, which is what I'm concerned about because we're applying parallel force putting these tires back on. So, tiny little dot. And there, like so. I'll grab a short piece because this is the front wheel. Slide you in. But hopefully this is going to catch long enough that we can get the tyre over. Make sure that's lined up. Right, let's get 2 jars of paint. Hold you upright. Like so. Right, let's have a play with this one. Yeah, hopefully that's going to hold long enough that I can get this in. So we'll just pop the tyre in again. I can actually... I actually thought medically then. I can appreciate where the part's lining up. Ooh, that's on my back. I'll walk down his mush. Yes, I can appreciate the vocal cords. Pass me the intubation tube. Never did understand why doctors say that kind of thing. I can appreciate. I can see it. Hello. Right, so that's in. That held a lot better than just trying to plonk it in like I was doing. So I'm just going to take my drill. Give that another quick wiggle. I'm not actually drilling into the metal piece itself, it's just trying to clear that hole. Like so. So that's that. And that should have flashed off long enough now for me to get in. Now, if you can see just there, there's a little white bloom that wasn't there a minute ago. That's what super glue does. So that's why I prefer not to use super glue on painted parts, because the vapours do that nasty white bloomy thing. Yeah. And it's crumpled my decal, which I'm not too bothered about. Like I say, I've got a plan for that in a moment. So just, hello. Just get rid of that. So what time are we on now? It's 4 in the afternoon, something like that. I used Alclads at 8:30 this morning when there was nobody in the house, purely because there was nobody in the house and they stink to high heaven. I had my face mask on, I had my air filter thingy blower sucky thing over there on, I had a fan behind me, I had the window open, the window's just there, up that way, so there's a fan behind me blowing everything that way out through the open window. I can still smell Alclads. And I used it ages and ages and ages ago now. So that's the hole driven through. So turn the tyre the right way round. Go back in from the other direction. Just finish the hole off. Like so. There we go again. And again, hopefully that's going to take long enough that we can do what we need to do. A quick look in the hole. Appreciate where the metal part is. And hopefully... Ooh, just off. There we go. We're in. So that wasn't too bad. So, just goes to show, if I can do this, you guys definitely can. because that was the first time I've ever done anything like that. Nothing is impossible, I just haven't figured it out yet. And that was purely trial and error. Job done. Right, what's next? Ooh. Find the screwdriver, there he is. Find the screwdriver, whip out that rear suspension. So it's basically, who that fault is? What was that? Oh yeah, I'm knocking off brake cables all over it, sure. So hopefully that's all in shot still. Just clear the background a little bit. Bring it down a bit more as well. So we've got one screw there. I think so. This feels incredibly long. I just want to appreciate the colour that I painted C26. Doctors. Strange old lot. They really are. Where's my tweezies? Oof. So that's the 2 screws for that. And then hinging the swing arm out of the way, you should be able to just completely withdraw the rear suspension like so. So put that back in the box nice and safe. Bring in this part. So I've masked off already, and it's like a "here I am" type flag, like that, because I keep losing it. So that's covered up. Use your words, Tony. Find your brain. There we go. So it's a metal rod that came with the kit to start with, just like a metal pen. So we've got XF1, I think it was, XF1 black for the main body of the suspension unit itself. It looks like titanium silver for the backing plate there, spacer type thing, and we're going with that funny X new colour that I used, whatever it was, X34 for the heady, whatever it that. Terry, help me out with that, love. What's that bike called? That funny rusty colour. So we're going to change that colour anyway, so that I know which one's which. So we've got the funny X34, so I can go in the box nice and safe. So I'll paint the body black, XF1 black. Just want the grippy thing over for that top corner there. And I'll just go with X11 chrome for this bit. Just literally just a quick run over. Like so, don't forget the back. Try not to smudge and get the black part we've just painted. So that's that like so. I'm just going to drag through the palette like so. So we're going to get a chisel edge now to the brush instead of a fine point. And then just where these bolt heads are, we're just going to very gently use the corner, just to very gently come across these bolt heads. So it's almost like dry brushing, stage couple here as well. There's that one and that one. I'll flip over to the other side and do the same there. Quick catch. Just come back in shot, Tony. There we go. Quick, nasty, simple. Job's a good one. So I'm going to leave that for a wee while now to dry off. And then we'll get some gloss varnish over that, and then we'll do a little pin wash just to pick out the detail of the grooves. So whilst we're waiting for the suspension part to dry off and do its thing, I'm just going to have a quick look at the base itself. Can hear you, so we'll take off the visor, put it nice and safe. Take the base out, like so. Clip this from the frame. Like so. And we're going to prepare this for both poses, because you get the leaning over pose like that, so you get going around the corner. There's also a standing up pose as well, so I'm going to actually adapt the plate for both versions, because I want that choice of having him stood up as well, as if he's getting ready to chuck it into a corner. Now if we look at the pose on the bike itself, he's actually counterbalancing, so we know that he's going over completely. But that pose should work whilst he's stood up as well, so you know, as if he's about to tip in. So for the tip over pose, ooh, is that vinyl? Ooh, that feels like vinyl. It is vinyl. Okay. So we got C10, which is like this little vinyl-y rubber TPE, whatever that is. I don't know if I've come across TPE before. We get this little cup thing that his knee goes onto, which goes on the plate there, like so, when it's tipped over. It's going to be intriguing. I'm assuming you can paint that stuff. That's the first time I've seen TPE. I don't even know what TPE means. Anyway, need A12 as well. So A12. Don't want to glue those either by the look of it. Or do we? Because these are spacers, which will go in here. Like so. Let's orientate ourselves. So that's that way. That's that way. That's that way. Yeah. So that's the space that goes in there, like that. And then we get the big screws that go into the tyres. So we take a big screw like so. I'm just going to take one of the tyres because I'm intrigued how this is going to work, whether I need to glue that in or not. So we chuck that in there. Need a washer. Ooh! Dance music. The joys of living on a council estate. Yeah. So it's slotted. So we've got a little bit of leeway on the thing with the stuff and the doodah. get the wheel. Oh, there we go. This is one of those things where you're going to need about 4 pairs of hands by the look of it. So I'm going to chuck that in there like that. There we go. That bit. So that's quite a lean. That is quite lean. Yeah, that way. I'll put the wheel on the wrong way around, but because the brake disc needs to be on that side, facing up. That is quite a lean. And apparently that little rubber piece goes on here somewhere where the knee goes and touches down. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Right, so let's take that screw out. So at least I know now the screw works. So I'm going to need about 17 pairs of hands when I get to it. So we need to drill. There's a hole there and a hole there for when we stand the bike up. So I was going to take care of those off camera because it involves finding more drill bits and things like that, so I'll just whack all that in one go. Get the screw back in there like that. Oh, I said off camera, I lied. So apparently we need 2mm, which is that big. And again, make sure your fingers... Yeah? Right. Ooh, my tea's nearly ready. So you can actually see the bubble coming through there. Like so don't force it. Let the drill do the work. There we go. So, done a white tack on the back just to take care of the not jabbing yourself in the fingers type of thing. There you go, so that's one. That's a huge hole. Yep, just say 2mm. So let's get this sorted out and then I'll go for my tea. Get off. There we go. So 2 holes. I'll go with my tea. Once I've had my tea, I'm going to give this a quick priming because it's actually not raining today, which is really freaking me out. So I'll take this outside whilst it's still lightish and give it a quick prime, and then we'll come back and we'll have a quick look at this. But before I do that, let's get everything back on again. We need to take care of the nubbage at the sides there where we clipped it from the frames, and I was going to give the road a bit of texture as well because it's a road. He's on a bike, he's on a road, he's on... get off. He's on a racetrack, so we're just going to give it a little bit of scrubbing with some sandy sticks. Just keep the surface as well, just help the primer out. So nothing too strenuous or serious or anything like that, just a bit of roughage. So it's the same sandy sticks that we used in the previous build, if you saw that one. If not, it's medium grit, a fine grit by them, yeah. And then I go, advertising. I go into smooth grit and then a super smooth grit. So you basically work through the grits. So if you can imagine, if we're using that one first, we're putting 4 lines into the plastic, then 16, then 32, and then 3 million. so it just goes smoother and finer each time. So we've just got this massive great big lump of shiny plastic. We just want to give the paint a little bit of a chance to grip into it, so we've got, instead of being nice and smooth like that, we've now got grips and lines and stuff like that where the paint can get into and stick and bond and things like that. These explanations always work better in my head. So a little bit of roughage. There we go. And now the paint should be able to grip into that. Lovely. April in Paris. Here comes the Johnny. Okie doke. So we've got the gloss varnish on. As you can see, it's all lovely, 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 lovely. Like so. Oh, glary. We're going to take some Starship Filth. Now, you don't have to use Starship Filth. You can use a black for this. It's just to grab the details. Now, I'm not going to make a pin wash like we did in the last build. Just going to literally, in a brush that we use for oil paints anyway, just grab some from the tube. Literally just need a smidge. Before everybody jumps on the Starship Filth thing, Starship Filth is a custom made colour. In oil paints there is no direct equivalent. It's a custom made colour. And it's always out of stock everywhere because it's so popular. Because it's just a dirty colour. You can make it yourself apparently with, I think it's Payne's Grey artist oil, and blues and blacks and greys and browns and stuff like that, where it's just basically a dark grey, that's all it is. And then just to get rid of it, I'm literally just wiping on an old scruffy towel. So we've grubbed up the silver, like so. This is a gunk wash. And then with some scrap t-shirt that I have specifically for this. So it's literally a square of old t-shirt. Wrap it around your finger. And then rub with the grain. What this will do is it'll leave a shadow in there. Obviously if it's too dark for you, then use a traditional pin wash. But that for me is exactly what I'm after. And the advantage of this gunk wash, as we call it, over a traditional pin wash, this will actually change the flavour of the paint as well. But you must gloss varnish first, otherwise you can't wipe it off, it'll just stay in one place. I'll show you an example of that in a second or two when I finish wiping that. So you can leave it as rough and ready as you want, or you can take most of it away, but that I'm pretty much happy with. We've now got shadows where there were none, so happy with that. The only downside to that is that takes about 4 days to dry now. These little streaks here were added over a matte varnish. You can see it just stays there if you try and rub it. Well, it's all been sealed in anyway now, but when you add that in, that's how you get that kind of effect. You just blend very, very gently your oil paints. Why are you going out of focus? Just very gently blend the oil paints over a matte surface. Do you know, I'm really happy with that exhaust. I really am. Genuinely happy with that exhaust. It's beautiful, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. I did that. Me? I did that. I'll carry on then. Right, so 4 days later, that's dry. We've just given that a gloss varnish just to seal it all in. As you can see, it's a beautiful depth. Shame it's going to go in there and we're not going to see it. Never mind. Right, so going back to the bike instructions, we need the strut like that, and then with the gas cylinder, hydraulic cylinder thing to the top, we plonk that in there. I'll bring the old one back in, because I don't think I've shown you this earlier. Where's the old one gone? There's the old one. Hop. there's a slight height difference. It's not huge, but it is there. There's a slight angle to it as well. It's not a massive difference, but it's just enough that it kicks the back wheel up and down a little bit. I'll find my words in a minute. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on the instructions at the same time. Right, so that's that. And then going from upside down. Get that way around, Tony. There we go. So we want the gas cylinder, hydraulic cylinder even, that way. So the long stubby bit goes to the top, and then the short stubby bit goes underneath, like so. And push all that back in together. Very technical. And then in there somewhere we need to make sure that it lines up with the bodywork too. So we'll worry about that in a second. I'll just drop a couple of screws in. So we need the shorter of the two screws, goes into the swing arm. Yay, drop the screw, that helps. So, screwdriver, nice screwdriver. Bit of saliva under your finger, I know it's gross. Just helps, actually prove me wrong now. Just helps to catch the screw in the screwdriver. So I'll drop that screw in there, just very loosely. I'm not going to tighten this just yet. Just must catch a couple of threads. And then right in there, right in our cocking tail stick. Just going to move the swing arm a tiny little bit so I can get in there with the cocking tail stick. I'm just going to push. Don't know if you can make that out. Just got that silly guard in the way. I'm just going to push that into the bodywork there. And then take the hood screw. Drop that into the bodywork. This is a lot easier in rehearsal. Here we go. Take a lethally sharp tweezers. Alright, stop giggling. I can hear you. Plung. I just poked you in the eye then, I'm sorry. Did you hear the sarcasm in that then? I'm sorry. So we just turn all that up, just make sure that we're in the bodywork at the back, which we are. Tighten the screws up. Taking care of course not to squeeze too hard on the bodywork, otherwise we're going to start breaking things. So very, very gently. Like it would with my pancakes, very first thing in the morning, very gently. Lovely. Getting croaky again, what's that about? So I'm just going to drop the back wheel in again. Let's get that out of the way first. So we'll catch the big cog on the back wheel first, if we can.
Can we? Come on, cooperate. This went brilliantly off camera. Dead easy, straight in, no messing. A minute I switch it back on. Hinge, right. There we go. See, what's so difficult in that? Tool. Just throw the screw back in. Let's go through and line up.
he says. There we go. Now, did that brake line go on the outside or the inside? I can't remember. On the inside. Spoon. And I'll pull the bloody thing off. Yay! Oh, this was so much easier in rehearsal. So thread that underneath, like so. Right. That's that. Drop the screw back in. Work it all the way through. Now, why are you not playing now? Come on, behave yourself. Stop you messing, I'm on national telly. Don't need your help making me look daft. I can do that on my own, thank you. Right, so where did you go? Where did you go? I love that exhaust. I'm just catching different colours in the light as I'm moving it round. I don't know if you can make it out, I can see purple just there. Beautiful effect. I could have spent an absolute fortune on smelly old L-clads, because they do transparent colours, especially designed for that kind of stuff. I managed to do it with pastels that literally cost about £3. It's beautifully subtle. So drop that tube back on there like so. Slide that around the corner. So as I'm planning these things in my head, yeah, quick 2-minute job, throw it all back together, dead easy. Move on to the next part. How long has this taken so far? Nearly 10 minutes. A little push with a cocking tail stick. Inlet flint, right, that's that. Oof. Right, make sure we get the front wheel the right way round. So I can flip the bike back over again. To follow the instructions, we need the spokes going in that curve, which we have. Take the hood screw out, Tony, that'd help. So also off camera, I've just dropped a couple of drops of glue with one caliper thing, what's that, brake disc, one brake disc off. Drop some glue in the bottom just to hold one on. I can't remember which way around I did it now, but holds one on, and then whilst there's still a load of glue in there, you drop the other disc in as well, and hopefully this will go straight in on the calipers. Yay, that worked. Also off camera, I managed to put all the hoses back on the handlebars that I managed to pull off. Make sure the screw line's up on the other side, which it has. Don't over tighten it, because we need that run. Like so. Drop the splash guard back on. There's that white patch I was talking about in the last video, where the white tack was. Which we don't need because the tyre covers it. Here we go. That's back on, no problem. So in time lapse now, I'm going to throw on the rest of the body kit, just to save myself boring you. Did a thing. I love that exhaust. Of all the paint things I've ever done, ever, that is in my top 3, that exhaust. Beautiful. Right, where's your kickstand? Keep calling that a kickstand, and it's not. Okay, that's that. Hopefully by now my primer's dry and I can carry on painting.
Yay! Yay!
Okay, so I was planning, I think I mentioned it at the start of the video, or I might have edited it out by now, I can't quite remember. Anyway, I was planning on doing the base and the conversion all in one go, and then I got involved in painting the base itself and things like that, so unfortunately you're getting one episode today and the continuation of the base at another stage. Now, just finished matte coating that, it's not quite gone off yet, and I've got dust in it. Oh no. Get off. Hairs. So what we've tried doing now is adding a little bit of movement into the base, so that when he's cornering we've got that kind of blurry effect that you get in the high definition photos. So join me in part 2, I'll hopefully be able to teach you how to do that. Hopefully it'll make sense, because yeah, it's me explaining things and it doesn't always make sense, and I don't always finish off what I'm about to say. Like I'm struggling at the moment, because I don't plan these, I don't script these or anything like that, because I find that if I script them it sounds all very robotic and I don't know, stop it, no, don't do robots. Anyway, join me next time. In the meantime, pop off to see my mates at emodels.co.uk. The majority of the things you've seen me build, and well, the kit itself is available from eModels, but the majority of the paints you'll see in this video is available from eModels too. Are available, one of the two. So bob along, have a nosy with them guys. The only one you'll have trouble getting hold of is Starship Filth. Get a million questions about that every time. It's a custom made colour that I know of. There's no direct equivalent in oil paints at the moment. I believe AK Interactive are bringing stuff out in a moment and drip feeding that into the market, but don't quote me on that because I've only seen one paint so far and it's not that. But it's one of those things, keep your eye on the websites. That particular tube of Starship Filth, just here, just out of shot, took me 5 weeks watching 13 different websites at least twice a day, and I actually found this at 3 o'clock in the morning whilst working a night shift. So it gives you an idea of just how rare that stuff is. Once it's available, word gets out and then, you know, everybody jumps on it and starts buying it and things like that, so I'm afraid you are going to have to keep watching websites for that. Other than that, everything else that you've seen me use so far in this video is available from emodels.co.uk. Bob along, tell them I sent you, and tell them that you need one of these kits, because it's, oh, I like it, I like it. Join me next time, and I'll tell you, I'll try that again. Join me next time, and until then, take care. See you soon, guys. That was rubbish. What was that?